Sideshow has a new maquette on the block, the Spider-Man vs. Venom maquette. Looks beastly, but is this a display or nay? Let's find out. If this is your first time on the channel, we have a lot of content about collectibles, from toy hunts to reviews on large statues, so please consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you can stay up to date. And if you're into this piece and do not care about the exclusive, check out Collector Zone. On this particular statue, they have joined with Choice Fine Art and are offering an exclusive lithograph if you order with them. I don't know exactly what the lithograph is going to look like yet, but Choice Fine Art has some amazing art, so I'm sure it's going to be cool. At Collector Zone, they also have a point system that lets you accrue points for future purchases, and they have convenient payment plans. And lastly, if you use the code MCE, you will get 5% off your purchase. So use the code and save some money. Your wallet will thank you for it. All right, let's get into the statue. The Spider-Man vs. Venom maquette is the latest Marvel diorama that Sideshow has produced since the Wolverine vs. Hulk maquette a few years back. It sort of depicts the battle between Venom and Spider-Man that would have taken place in issue 300 of The Amazing Spider-Man, which is considered Venom's first appearance. So there's some things that I love about this piece, and there's a lot that I really don't. First up, it's kind of an ambitious piece with Spider-Man hanging off the ledge like that. It definitely makes the piece fun and dynamic. It also gives it an interesting take since it makes you wonder how Sideshow's gonna make Spider-Man suspend like that. I do like Spidey's pose. It has that acrobatic pose that McFarlane is known for, and it looks like that he's getting one shot off before he lets himself tip over the edge to avoid a strike from Venom. Since this would be the first appearance of Venom, I like that they gave him prominence in this piece, having him tower above Spider-Man and ready to deal a vicious strike. The exclusive for this one is a swap out McFarlane portrait for Venom. This is done okay in my opinion. From some angles, it looks really good, and from others, well, not so much. More on that in a few. The base sets the scene with the toppled bell tower on top of the church. I really like that this helps tell the story. I also really like the paint app all the way around the statue by Casey Love. It has a realistic looking patina for the bell tower that pops. Spidey looks vibrant, and Venom has that black and blue hue highlights that he's known for. In terms of price, I think it's priced pretty well, considering that the Hulk vs. Wolverine was $650 a few years back, and this is starting at $685. It's an acceptable increase for me. And it also further annoys me when I think about the price of Darth Maul again, but I won't go there. So it seems like a great piece, right? At first glance, it really does appeal to me, especially when I think of how it would look next to my Wolverine vs. Hulk diorama. I think it would be cool to have a first appearance diorama set up like that on my shelf. Kind of reminds me of collecting the Marvel cards back in the day, you know, when they had all of the Versus cards. But there are some things that make me pump the brakes. First up, if you are a true hardcore comic guy, then what should strike at you at first glance is it's wrong in terms of the comic. For starters, Spider-Man wore a black suit in the first battle between Venom. If they had done just that, it would sell for me. But I do get it. In terms of art, the red and blue suit looks much better against Venom. So okay, let's go there. Then why isn't Spider-Man's suit more like the McFarlane design? A simple change in the Spider-Man logo, a redesign of the eyes would put it there, and I think would make this a killer piece. So I think all of that was a big miss. Next, the overall composition of this piece seems a bit awkward to me from some angles in my opinion. So far, the only really cool angle to me seems to be the one with Venom's back at us. That makes the McFarlane portrait look better. It really complements Venom's muscle tone, and it kind of makes Spider-Man look like he's doing capoeira and about to deliver a kick to the head. From almost all other angles, I'm not feeling the statue as much. The McFarlane portrait, while awesome, should be just the portrait in my opinion. The other one with the long tongue, it just seems off to me. And while we're on the McFarlane portrait, doesn't that nose look a little bit big to anybody else, or is it just me? Okay, so is the Spider-Man vs. Venom maquette a display or nay? For me, it's a nay. Why is it an A? Glad you asked. Here's my reason. It's just not the iconic piece that the Wolverine vs. Hulk maquette was. The Wolverine vs. Hulk maquette was a three-dimensional translation of the Hulk 181. That statue, I know, made many of us hunt down that comic just to display it with the statue. That is what made that piece so great and the Statue of the Year contender when it came out. This statue just doesn't have it. They missed the mark with the black suit. They didn't even bother to make Spider-Man look more like the McFarlane design. While I was in the Geminites group last night, Gem Mink commented about that it could have been more of like the Amazing Spider-Man 316, which I agree. That would have been a very cool piece to see. I know it's been done before, I think by an unlicensed studio, so it would have been cool to see Sideshow put that out. Now, I was told the other day that I'm a little bit picky. Well, my reply to that is, this is a $700 collectible. You don't want me to be this picky? Drop your prices and I'll let more slide. Again, I'm not trying to sell you guys and gals on buying anything. You should buy what you love. This is this collector's opinion on this piece, and I respect yours. If you love it, then go for it. Use the code MCE and save yourself some money while you're doing it. Anyway, that's my thoughts. What do you all think about this piece? Is this a display or nay for you? Let's talk about it.